we are digging into the nation's report card and how Maryland ranks when it comes to math and reading scores when compared with other states. Jeremy Portnoy, investigative journalist with Open the Books, is joining us live to break down his findings. Good morning, Jeremy.
Good morning, Shannon. How are you?
I'm great. So let's start there. What are you finding when it comes to Maryland's test scores?
So these scores, as you might have heard already, have been dropping for over a decade now, right? If you go back to 2013, this report card showed that Maryland students ranked significantly higher than the national average in both math and reading. Now, this new data that was just released shows they're significantly lower in math than other states and not significantly different in reading compared to the average.
Okay, and how much have we seen school funding increase in this time?
Yeah, so in that same time span, if you look at the per student revenue of Maryland schools, it's gone up from $12,255 up to $19,427. So even after you adjust for inflation, that's still an extra 16% that we're spending per student. But so far, we haven't seen student performance increase in tune with that.
And let's talk about when we're just looking at Baltimore City. What is the trend there?
Yeah, it's a similar story, right? I mean, the scores haven't really fallen because they've unfortunately been low for a long time, but we have seen spending going up, and Baltimore doesn't rank very well on this report. There's 26 cities here that are categorized as a large city. Baltimore ranks number 23 out of those, right? They found that only 12% of fourth graders are proficient in math, only 9% of eighth graders are proficient in math. So it's definitely something you want to see go up, especially with this blueprint for Maryland's future, investing $30 billion over a 10-year span all over the state.
Right. I mean, it was so much money being poured into schools. And where is it going?
A big problem we see in Baltimore, which we talk about, is the school just isn't transparent about where that money's going. We've been requesting for months their payroll, their checkbook spending. They still have not sent it to us. They've been coming up with different excuses to try and withhold that information. That's an issue we've had with them for 2 years now. So we know other reporting has shown that Baltimore is spending a lot of money on administrative costs compared to districts that have higher performing students, but it's tough for us to pinpoint exactly where it's going.
What is your biggest takeaway from these findings, and where do we go from here?
We need more transparency in the school spending, like I just said, and we need to make sure that all this money we're investing is actually going towards programs that are going to improve student performance, right? If you look at the top school districts like Charlotte, North Carolina, Miami, they're not necessarily spending more than Maryland is. They're just making sure that money is spent efficiently and going towards programs that are really helping students.
All right, Jeremy Portnoy with Open the Books. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Of course. I'll see you next week.
See you next week.